Okay, I'm going to flip the screen around, but again, just thanks everybody for joining. I'm Henry Nading with Chantal, and to my right is Haida Thurlow, the founder and CEO.
Also with Chantal.
Also with Chantal, right. Okay.
Well, thank you so much for taking your time to join us.
Yeah, most definitely. So it seems 2022 may be another year where we have to roll with the punches to some degree, but we've put together a nice info session here for all of you, and I hope that you get a lot out of it. So this will be shared with you again at the end, both the recording and the PowerPoint, so you have it at your disposal. But without further ado, we wanted to start with the most important part, which is thanking all of you.
Yes, I really appreciate all of your help. It's amazing, regardless of the difficulty of being able to visit with retailers, we got very nice orders. Our business has increased significantly with the specialty stores.
Mm-hmm.
And can they see this picture on their screen?
Yes, they should be able to.
Okay.
Mm-hmm.
So this is the 50th anniversary of my company. And just for you to know, I started this business, I was 12. Well, perhaps not quite. And the reason I started the business is when I came here to Houston, I have a degree in mechanical engineering, and I thought, oh, it'll be easy to get a job with these huge, many oil tool companies. And 50 years ago, nobody wanted to hire a female engineer. So because I love to cook, I decided then I started a cookware company. And that's now Chantal.
Yeah, and I know many of you have been with us for decades.
Yes.
So just, I think we want to reiterate our thank you to you for sticking with us over the years and seeing, you know, both the ups and the downs of the business. And to Haida's point, 2021, we still continued to ride a very strong wave from a business perspective.
Mm-hmm.
And you know, while we had a few challenges, we also, you know, were able to celebrate that 50 years and see some good growth in certain areas.
Right. Just one of the big challenges has been that the goods that we bought for the fall business, for Christmas business, they were happily swimming at Long Beach, looking at California. So
yeah,
it's been, and now we have these goods that we bought for Christmas.
Yeah,
So,
I'd say one of the biggest frustrations of last year is so much of our Q4 business had to be pushed into Q1 of this year just due to all of those supply chain issues. But you know, I know we're not alone in that regard, and
right.
Thankfully our retailers have been very understanding simply because they're hearing it from everybody. Another point I just wanted to make about, you know, thanking you all for your help and thanking all of our retailers for their understanding is with our price increases. We had some significant jumps from 21 to 22, 2021 to 2022. But I'm proud to say that we are about 98% level across the board with all of our retailers and all of our .com partners, with everybody being at the 2022 MAP prices. There are a few stragglers that we are working with, but anybody who you see specifically online and or brick and mortar, please let us know because we need everybody, you know, to be even from a pricing perspective. Last year, of course, we also saw a good amount of e-com growth continue. That's something that's going to become, I think, even more important as we move forward season over season and year over year. But to Haida's point a bit earlier, it was really great to see kind of this renaissance in the specialty store business.
Yes.
You know, we had accounts who were up 40 and 50%, and they seem to be doing well with a variety of our products. They've got more customers in the door. And, you know, after so many years of seeing that channel ebb and decline, it's really, really meaningful to see it grow again.
And Henry, you mentioned that we had significant increases. These increases we were not able to pass on. We worked very hard to be able to come up with a smaller amount of increase as price increase, but it's been a struggle, really a struggle.
Yeah.
And I'm certain you hear that from other suppliers as well.
Sure, sure. But 2021 was a joyous year. In October, we celebrated that
Yes,
50-year
oh,
anniversary,
absolutely. That was fun.
and yeah, a real testament to the company and the brand.
And too bad you all couldn't come.
Yeah, a few were able, but totally
Oh,
understand
yes.
that most of you couldn't make the trip. One fun program we did last year that we just wanted to include a slide on, and another thank you, was our Marigold in-store specialty store brick and mortar display program. We had a handful of stores participate in this, and just thank you if it was one of your retailers who was able to do it. We may look to do programs like this in the future when we have a large enough product launch where it makes sense, but it really helps put the brand front and center in a retail store. Speaking on behalf of the brand, we're making a lot of efforts behind the scenes from a big picture standpoint, just to make sure more people all the time know the name Chantal and know our products. We've hired a third-party digital advertising firm that is doing a lot of Google direct-to-consumer advertising, some in Facebook as well. And then we have a series of ad campaigns running throughout our Amazon platform. And while that feeds the Amazon business, I think it also really helps to feed our business overall, because today's consumer goes to Amazon to search for anything first. They're searching for a product when they want to buy on Amazon before they're searching on Google. So I think it's important that we are putting resources towards being in front of those customers, because that'll trickle down and it'll help our brick and mortar business, it'll help our national chain business, and it'll help the rest of our web business. I'd already mentioned just we're putting a huge focus on price consistency, and so I appreciate your help there, and just the extra eyes really come in handy. If you see anybody below map, certainly just let us know. We've also refreshed Chantal.com. It has a much more modern feel, and we've also put a lot more focus into our social media accounts. We've been growing that substantially, yeah, it's really great to see how get that direct feedback, I guess, from people through social media, because we learn a lot about what people are. What questions people have about our product, and it's always fun to just hear them be so positive about certain items as well. And last but not least, we've been putting a lot of extra effort just towards creating more digital content, knowing that's where people are looking for info about products. We have better photography, we've been creating video, and we're improving the verbiage for our products all the time across all platforms, really. Okay, so to look back at last year, we just wanted to show all of the new products we came out, just in a nutshell. 11 new kettles. It's the most we've ever released in my time with the company. A handful of electrics. That category continues to grow, and we'll expand on that a bit later in the presentation. But a lot of stovetop kettles as well. Whoops. Cookware next, and 2 new sizes in our cast iron, a 3-quart Dutch oven and a 4-quart saute. A series of different specialty cookware items were released, and open stock items in both our Induction 21 and our 3-clad lines. The steamer has started really strong, and we'll highlight that a bit later in the presentation as well. And then the resurgence of our ceramics. We brought back our bakeware category, and I think we were overwhelmingly pleased with the success, but it was a little disappointing because we sold out much quicker than we thought we could, or thought we would. So Q4, we didn't necessarily have the stock we hoped to have, but it is.
We have it now?
We're back in stock on some, but still, it's still out on most of our pie dishes.
But all the others,
they are en route. We're limited quantities on some of the others. Okay, so like I said, 2022 is going to be another year where we just kind of have to play it by ear, so to speak. One of the big changes, of course, is even though the Houseware show is happening, we've made the decision not to attend. Something that was very difficult for us. We really wanted to be there. The decision for us was not necessarily COVID related. It was simply that we were hearing not a lot of our retail partners would be there. We weren't getting a lot of confirmations, a lot of iffy responses on whether or not folks would be there. So we just chose to save the cost of the show this year but we do plan to attend in future years, and we really hope the show bounces back in a big way because I get a lot out of it. I really enjoy being there in person. I think it's great for the industry and it's healthy for the industry.
And a lot of the large vendors have pulled out. The list got longer and longer. It was amazing.
Yeah, we were on the fence for a number of weeks, but ultimately we had to just make that tough decision. But there's a lot of other things we can do to still promote business and remotely. First off, let us know what we can do. We can set up Zoom sessions with even just an individual independent store. We can certainly make time for that. We'd be happy to send samples directly to your retailers. Fry pans, of course, are a big help in that regard, but also we have our new Vincent kettle that we're going to touch on here in a minute. And then, I think we are becoming more comfortable with the idea of traveling again. Of course, it's really up to the retailer and in the territory, whether or not they'd be welcoming to us. But I think we can still do a lot remotely. Just let us know how we can help. We did attend Gourmet Catalog and HTI in Dallas and Atlanta. That was a fun opportunity to show off some of our new 2022 items. And if we could just mute our phones, please. And yeah, we passed along some notes from those shows. We were able to see, I think, about 50 to 60 different specialty stores over the course of those two sessions in Atlanta and Dallas.
And almost all of them said they were very satisfied with the sell-through of Chantal and were eager to buy more Chantal.
Absolutely. It was, very positive, very positive. So some sales materials that are coming your way and will be at your disposal soon. We've had lots of questions about when our catalog is available. We sent out an email blast just last week, and it included a link to this. It's a program called Flipping Book, but it is a really cool, and I just wanted to show this to everybody. It's an easy way to pass along a high-res version of our catalog. And so it's just easy to flip through, and it just gives you a link you can share instead of an attached file. We also do have a more medium size res file of that catalog that we'll email you. So for those of you who do like to physically attach it, that'll be at your disposal. Samples. Rep samples are going to start, some have started going out. I think most of you have already received the Vincent kettle, our new temperature control kettle, but let us know what else you need. We had a lot come out last year. We sent out a bundle to reps last year, but we understand, samples can break, they can get left places. So reach out to your sales manager or to Venus and we can get you more samples. Our cash and rewards cards, that is finished. The form is online for you to download and print. We really probably should go to the marketing department and have them print some physical copies as well. I'm sure you'd find that helpful. And then more than anything, we've been getting request after request from all of you for promotions. When are we going to see some promotions? And I'm happy to say that in this presentation today, we are going to share our promotions with you for the first time. Before we go there, though, we wanted to share just a quick screenshot of some of the top 5 best sellers for specialty stores. This is a file that went out in email blast last Friday to you. And in addition to just overall top 5s, it also had top 5s by category and a little more in-depth info. So if you haven't taken the time to look through that, it is really helpful. It's something I would share with your specialty stores and say, here's what's working for others. I think it's all of this should be viewed as low-hanging fruit for all of our specialty stores. Okay, to reiterate our 2022 terms because some things have changed. Our minimum opening order has not changed. It's still at $350. Our free freight program has had to increase though. We looked at just the cost that we had incurred on freight in 2021 and it just continues to climb. So we are taking it from $1,200 where it was last year up to $1,500. And what's great is, most of the accounts who are taking advantage of free freight program are specialty stores, and they need products. So they haven't had much of a difficult time reaching that 1,500, which is great to see. It helps us all. Our new back order policy, any back orders that accumulate that are less than $400 will be canceled. And we wanted to reiterate also that for specialty stores, we will drop ship items, anything with over a $49.95 retail. We just add a cost of $6 per order, just as kind of a processing fee, but something we're more than happy to do as needed to support them. Okay, wanted to jump through just basic contacts, just a reminder here more than anything. Just make sure when you're sending in orders that they go to orders@chantalcorp.com. Linda has been at times, a one-woman band, but she has some good help these days, and it's really helpful for her if you can send to the whole team instead of just Linda directly. Also, if you can take the time to use our order forms, those are housed on our Rep and Retailer login. Something Venus can guide you towards if you have questions about where it is or how to get it. It saves a lot of time on our end if you can fill out that order form. And it really doesn't take that long, but it's so much easier than just having an email with a list of items and quantities. To instead have it on that spreadsheet. Any return requests should go to returns@chantalcorp.com. Linda is not part of the returns team, so it really is different people here, spearheaded by a woman named Anne, who many of you I'm sure have seen her name over the years. But she's the one who really takes on the returns side of the business. So it would save Linda a lot of time to not have to forward on to that team if you can just send to returns@chantalcorp.com. And there's a little form to fill out. It's very simple, but again, it's just helpful for us on our side processing returns. For all other little inquiries, of course, contact your Chantal sales managers, myself, Deb, and Jim. And Venus, of course, is always available and happy to help. Okay, we wanted to reiterate one that I'm sure everybody appreciates and I hope is trying to utilize as much as possible. We are still giving an extra 5% commission to reps on any new account that has never bought Chantal in the past. And I just wanted to place in here just a reminder that any new web account, any online-based customer really needs to be approved by us before we're going to ship them anything. That's just how we control our distribution, because we've all seen how just one bad apple, one rogue website or rogue seller on a marketplace can undermine the business for all of us. Oh, yeah. So it's something that's very important. And when you send in an order for a new account, let's say a specialty store, a grocery account or something, just write new account on it. That helps us process the extra commission on our side. Okay, without further ado, let's jump into our spring promotions. Again, many of you have been asking for these left and right. We just didn't feel that the time was right in January to launch a spring promotion because we just had a price increase. So we wanted to make sure we had time to get all of our retail partners up to the 2022 pricing before we launched our promotions. But I'm happy to say we're there, and our promotions are going to launch on March 1st and run through the end of June. Free freight will remain at the $1,500, but dating will be extended to 90 days. So for your buying groups, your gourmet catalogs, your HTIs, they'll get, instead of 60, they'll get 90, and for the others as well. So let's jump into the items that are on promo. First and foremost, this is a very exciting one. It should do really well. And this is for brick and mortar only. It is not for web accounts. It is our Lake Fade Gray vintage style tea kettle, and it is going back down to 2021 pricing over this time period. But of course, that's in-store only. So the advantage that your specialty stores will have is everywhere across the web, on Amazon, on Crate and Barrel, on Williams-Sonoma, on Bed Bath & Beyond. It'll be at $59.95. So it's really a chance for them to soak up some good business on a really great item. So definitely one to push hard. We're going to create 2 different versions of our promo sheet. One that is for brick and mortar retailers, and then one that can be shared with, with web accounts. So there's not any crossover there. We hope to keep that out of, or off the web, I should say. Okay, our Glacier Blue, really just in time for spring. We're taking the whole Glacier Blue color and marking it down pretty heavily. And I think it's going to be super competitive. I mean, I love the shade on our anniversary kettle, which we're taking back down to the $39.95 retail. On our Mia kettle, which we're taking down to just $49.95. And then all of our assorted bakeware items and butter dishes also are coming down to these very competitive prices. And these and everything else that's in the promotion will be available to all channels. It won't be specialty only. So these are prices that you'll see across the board on the web. Our 3-clad fry pans. This one, I like this one. This one's a lot of fun. So we're taking all of our 3-clad fry pans and we're pricing them the same as Induction 21. And the hope is that stores, specialty stores specifically, will really take that as an opportunity to try the 3-clad line. Because it is a step up in quality. The cooking performance is exceptional. The nonstick ceramic coated pieces, the coating is a sister coating to the Induction 21 line, but the cookability and the performance of 3-clad really is impeccable, and we just want to do everything we can to get that into more people's hands. Couple open stock promotions here over the spring window. Our 3-clad 5-quart saute, our 7-quart stock with steamer basket, our roaster just in time for Easter. I'm going to drop that back down to just $100, and then our 2-piece fry pan set for Induction 21 also at the $100 price point. And last but not least, our cooking tools. We're going to do a nice promo on those also. And this is one where just the stock arrived a lot later than we thought it would. So we've got a little bit extra, but at the same time they're great items. We've got 2 new ones arriving, the spatula and the whisk. I don't think they're going to be here until May, unfortunately, but that is of course within the window. So people, stores can still get them at these promo costs and retails. So that's our spring promotion sheet. You're going to see a PDF soon. It's in the works, and then it will be printed as well and sent out to all of you as well as your retailers. But again, starts 3/1, yeah, I think it's got some really strong stuff in it. So let's look at 2022 product. First off, we continue to be a leader in the stovetop and electric kettle categories. Our market share within that space continues to climb, both at the national chain level as well as the specialty store level. And looking at the numbers, we were proud to say between electrics and stovetop, we've sold over 5 million in our 50 years. And over that time, less than 2% defective rate, which is really impressive. Something Haida finds very rewarding is just the focus on style and function of our kettles. And we really do consider ourselves to be an expert in the space. Our newest intro for 2022 is the Vincent kettle. And it is our first jaunt into a temperature controlled electric. Most of you will be receiving samples. I hope they've already arrived, but we wanted to take a little time here to really walk you through how it works. And I mentioned we've been creating more and more video. This video actually just is hot off the presses. Let me get it here. And it's still a little rough, but I want to go ahead and play it for everybody. Okay, I'm sure everybody caught every word of that. But in case you didn't, we wanted to do an actual little live demo as well. So I've got the Vincent kettle here right next to me, and it's kind of a tough camera angle, but I hope you can see this. I've got to keep the kettle on its electric base. Maybe I can angle this a little bit. Just because that's how it engages itself, of course, how it gets the power into the controls. What I really love about the kettle overall, just from a personal standpoint, is just that it's easy to grip, easy to hold, and you can manipulate the buttons with one hand while holding the kettle. But right here is your basic on-off, and to activate the kettle, you push it once. That basically primes the controls inside. Then you push it again, and this little light comes on for boiling. And you can change the temperature. You can denote it to increments of 5 degrees, Fahrenheit, of course. And let's say if I found what I like, 185, we're gonna go with it. You just stop and it'll start, the little icon will start blinking, and I can hear the kettle starting up. I'm sure you can't, but believe me, it's starting to get a little warm. If you want to hold the temperature, that's the other big feature on this kettle, and that is this other button here. So let's say I like that 185 and I want to hold that temperature because I'm not going to use all the water at once. So I push that again, and it tells us 185 is the target again. And when it reaches 185, it'll hold that temperature for up to 60 minutes before shutting itself off. It really is a super easy to use, intuitive little kettle. And you know, I'm really pleased with it. I think it's going to be a winner for us this year. And you know, it's a big step for us. I think we've all seen temperature control start. The boil's starting to get a little loud now. I'm going to turn it off. But we've all seen temperature control becoming more predominant throughout the electric kettle market. So I would be hopeful that you see some more models of temperature control from us in the future. Okay, I'm going to go back to our presentation, and actually I'm going to hand it over to Jim to talk about some of the next slides.
Hey, Henry.
Hey, Jim.
Before we go into the next slide, do you have information on how long it would take the Vincent to heat up? I'm presuming that would depend upon the temperature you set it for.
And it would be very dependent upon how much water is inside as well.
Right, of course.
I don't, off the top of my head, height of May, the question that was posed is how long the kettle may take to heat up if it's at full capacity. We can always ask Randy later, yeah.
It goes fast.
Yeah, it goes fast, yeah.
Yeah. And then have we
we'll
worked out something that tells the consumer the different temperatures for tea or coffee?
I know can speak to that.
Yes, what we are going to do.
Just got one.
Oh, what is that?
Because we were just demoing it.
Oh, okay. So the goal is to put a sticker on here or have printed on here the temperature in the different teas, let's say 212 oolong tea, black tea, etc., or 198 or 195, whatever other
green tea, or yeah.
And then at the bottom, coffee in big letters, again, I think 212 degrees, so that you can, that the
It'll be-
consumer, yeah, and we're going to, in fact, we are planning to put it on right now, temporarily,
Oh, on our current stock.
yeah, on
okay.
our current stuff.
So ultimately, will it be permanent on here, or is it just
Oh,
going to be
yes.
a, okay, okay.
Oh, yes, it should
Gotcha.
be a permanent sticker, yes.
Okay, gotcha.
And I hope we can make one here that we glue on, and hopefully it'll stay on.
Yeah, good question, Jim. Appreciate that. Okay. Are there any other questions you wanted to go over, Jim, before we jumped into the next part of the presentation?
I think that's it for now. Let's go ahead.
Okay, and I'll hand it to you to, so just give me a cue if I'm not flipping the slide quickly enough.
Okay, will do. So just briefly to continue going over product that's in our normal catalog. Of course, we have the electric kettles. Aside from this new kettle, the Mia has done extremely well for us. Has no plastic on the interior. That's been a very positive thing for this kettle, as well as the slow pour spout. So it's great for pour over coffee, as well as just a directed pour of tea or anything else. I use mine every single day of the week, and I love it.
Yeah. Haida, did you have something you wanted to add for the Mia?
The reviews on the Mia are amazing. We have never received that many really good reviews.
True, yeah.
So that's very encouraging.
You know, I should share that before I started working with you, I had an electric kettle from another company, and after about a year, it would crap out, and I'd get another one. And then after a year, it would crap out. And I've had, you know, ever since I started 4.5 years ago, I have my Mia electric kettle, and it continues to work as well as the first day I got it. So it's fantastic.
Yeah.
Also in craft coffee, we of course have the French press, a nice ceramic French press that will retain heat, and ours has the stainless steel plunger as well as the stainless steel lid, so it fits securely. And we've got these little knobs on the inside, these little nubbins that help you adjust the fit. So that's a unique characteristic of ours. And then of course there's the Lotus filter with that nice rib texture that helps the water flow. It helps for the filter not to adhere to the sides. It will fit either a number 2 or a number 4. I personally like the number 4 because it raises above the edge and makes it really easy to pull it out. So
I just wanted to share with you all that we worked really hard on the size of the holes, because the speed of the water flow will contribute to the strength or quality of the coffee. So we did holes that were a little larger, holes a little smaller, until we found out which were the right size of holes.
Right.
Yeah, we worked really hard on this.
Meticulously done.
And I think we need to still do a better job explaining this, that these are specialized holes.
Yes, we can do that, no problem.
And there's the little water viewing window as well, which is a nice touch. It helps to make sure you're not overflowing your cup.
Yes, yes.
Just a simple feature that's very helpful.
Yeah. Of course, our Induction 21 steel cookware, our best-selling cookware, made with a unique Japanese steel, where we actually melt copper into the steel, so you get great heat conduction. And there's also, there's also titanium that helps strengthen the metal.
Mhm.
Construction, brush body so it doesn't show fingerprints, glass lids. Chantal was the first to have glass lids and stay cool handles, and now most everyone does that. Works on all stovetops, including magnetic induction, and the fact that there's no nickel, which is an allergen, and also makes the induction work better, actually.
Definitely. And to that, I think just the name of the line, the fact that we chose to call out that the line is proficient on induction has really helped it sell. We do still have, a lot of friends in the appliance dealer industry, in the appliance industry, and induction continues to grow in the North American market. So I think we've captured a lot of customers just by saying this is proficient cookware for magnetic induction cooktops that we might not have gotten otherwise. Do you have anything to add?
So I thought I'll tell you my story about the glass lids. That by a coincidence, I got a proposal from a Japanese company by Teletext about the glass lids. And I got samples and I decided, let's then put glass lids on our cookware. So the first crate arrived, and Jerry comes to our warehouse manager, that time our part-time packer, and Jerry comes to my office and says, Haida, we have to turn the truck back. We can't unload the crate. And I said, what? So Jerry claims I put on my fur coat as though I would need a fur coat in Houston. And I climbed on the back of the flatbed truck and looked at that crate, and I said, and Jerry was standing on the pavement looking up, and I said, Jerry, give me a crowbar. And I get a crowbar and I open the lid of that big wooden crate and take off the lid and take a stack of the lids, pass it down to Jerry and say, Jerry, that's how we unload the crate.
Right.
And Jerry has never come to my office again to tell me that something could not be done.
Those are the things that get you to 50 years in business, right? So that's neat. And then, today glass lids are predominant throughout the cookware industry. But, when Haida really originated that, it was something new. It was something innovative.
Our competitors enthusiastically embraced the glass lids.
Okay. Jim, back to you.
Okay, so we have two new open stock pieces in ID21. The 2.5 quart pour spout saucepan has been a great success, and now we'll be adding it in a 1 1/4 quart size. I use that 2.5 quart saucepan a lot, and I think a smaller size for smaller households, or for just if you want to steam a small amount of vegetables or something like that, will come in really handy. In addition, we'll be adding a 12.5-inch uncoated fry pan. So the coated fry pan will have a partner there. And I think the size of this will be great for searing meats and whatnot. So both these pieces will, I think, find a welcome home in the assortment.
Definitely.
And then we're also adding a new 8-piece set, which will have coated fry pans along with uncoated stock pot and saucepans. So it'll have a 1 quart sauce with glass lid, a 2.5 quart saucepan with pour spout and colander or strainer glass lid, and then the 6 quart casserole, plus the 8-inch and 10-inch coated fry pans. We've been having stores asking for these kind of mixed sets. So I think it'll be a really good addition.
Mm-hmm.
Yeah, I learned actually from Chuck Williams where he explained to me, for dry cooking, you need nonstick, and for wet cooking, meaning for anything with liquids, no need for nonsticks. And that's
Sure.
one of the reasons why we decided we really should offer a mixed set.
Mhm.
Yeah, it's great.
We've also seen success with our mix set on our 3-clad line. That was part of the inspiration behind doing something similar in our induction 21 line.
Yeah.
There's a great lead into
3-clad. So this is our tri-ply cookware, and for those who haven't tried it yet, it's really a great line of cookware. Of course, tri-ply, you've got the aluminum clad by stainless steel, and the aluminum goes all throughout the pan on the interior of the pan, and so you get the heat conduction all the way to the lip of the pan. I think one of the things that really makes ours stand out is the styling. And if you look at the silhouettes of most of the tri-ply cookware lines out there, they all look pretty much the same. And ours has the nice flat glass lid and really kind of Scandinavian styling. And when you put it on a shelf next to the others, I think it really stands out. And I think that's something to point out to customers, or even put it on the shelf next to their other lines and see how it looks. But it's so functional and beautiful, and of course will work on magnetic induction.
Yeah, good point. Good point. I know, Haida, the styling of it is something you worked hard on.
Oh, yeah, yeah. It's one of the guiding lights for me in the design of the products was actually Coco Chanel. Her guide was simplicity is the playbook for elegant design. And I turned this, I changed it a little bit by simplicity is the playbook for timeless product design.
Mhm.
Yeah, yeah, it's great. And I should point out that there are a few pieces, certainly the fry pans and the 5-quart saute, that do have the ceramic nonstick coating on them.
And are on promotion starting March 1st.
There you go. Yeah, please, take advantage of that promotion, where if nothing else, a great way to start a line with customers is with fry pans, and see how that works for the customer, because those are the best selling pieces.
Mhm.
And you can move into the rest of the line from there.
Yep.
Moving on to specialty cookware. If you noticed on the top 5 list, that roaster with nonstick rack, that is the #1 bestseller from last year for independent stores. So that is something you should be talking to all of your customers about. It has a case pack of 1, so it's easy to add on to an order and have your customer try. But I really recommend, it's a really nice roaster for a great price. Of course, we've got the pasta steamer insert. This will fit any of our pots, 6-quart or larger. So it's a great piece. It's designed to let the water out quickly when you pull it up. So it's really functional. And then, of course, the griddles, both in the stainless and ceramic, have been great sellers for us. Probably even sales on the ceramic versus the stainless steel. So it's really up to your customer which they prefer.
Yeah, these are all items that can be merchandised either with our induction 21 or our 3-clad, or by themselves. They're not really defined by a product line. They're all in special.
Yeah. Then our cast iron cookware has really done well, and certain accounts are really taking advantage of it. Now we've added the marigold color, so we've got 4 great colors to choose from. Of course, our product is made the same way that expensive French cast iron cookware is made, the same machinery. sandcast molds, so you get consistent thickness and shape. And then we've got a great coating that we put on it, long lasting. You've got 3 sizes in the Dutch, 3 quart, 5 quart, and 7 quart, which have all proven to be good sellers. 10-inch fry pan, and then the 4 quart, what I like to call chicken fryer saute skillet. It's a nice small assortment, easy to add into a store, and it's really checked out well.
Yeah, there's definitely that customer who, you know, wants that high-end enamel on steel cast iron Dutch oven,
Right.
but doesn't have, you know, the pocketbook, so to speak, to shell out the dollars on those really expensive brands. So we've really found a niche there by giving that same quality and function and beauty at a much more palatable price point.
And our stainless steel utensils, of course, you know, are beautiful. They fit in the hand really nicely. The Haida's design on these is fantastic, because most steel utensils just have a barrel handle that are really quite uncomfortable to use. So that just this slight curve fits nicely in your hand. Got the weighted stay cool cement, which really give nice balance to all of the utensils. They're dishwasher safe. Oh, and also if you, with the stay cool cement, if it's leaning against a hot pot, the will still stay cool. And you know, so with the design, the shape, the feel, the grip, all of it, it's just fantastic. They're great utensils. I think you would all agree with
Never
that.
forget when I approached the manufacturer for very high-end German utensils. I said, I'm designing these utensils with a curved handle, and I'm planning to apply for a patent. And he looked at me and said, Mrs. Toloff, there's no way you can get a patent on utensils. Well, a few months later, I had a patent on the curve of the handle. And what we used it's called golden mean out of architecture, where the center of the curve is 3/5. And that really makes it very, very comfortable. So I just don't take no for an answer.
I think the promo pricing on these is you know, really going to open some doors on this line. And I did want to specifically say I was both, I was the team member who was both in Dallas and Atlanta. And I had more stores coming up to me telling me how successful they'd been with our tools than I expected, because they are great tools. And I was just happy to see that, you know, our retailers were pleased with the sell-through.
Yeah, great. And we're adding 2 new pieces. These will be available in May. You know, we're adding the small balloon whisk. So the Haida's flat whisk will have a partner. And then this narrow flexible spatula, we've had a few people asking about, and the few people we've told about this spatula are really excited. The blade of it is about 2 inches by 5 inches. So it's great for scooping out casseroles or enchiladas, or it has a lot of great application. And my understanding is there's not a lot of product out there like this with this shape. So I think it'll be a winner.
Good.
Then, of course, our bakeware, which Henry alluded to, sold faster when it came in than we expected, particularly the pie dishes. Our glaze is a lead and cadmium-free glaze. It's FDA and California Prop 65 approved. We sand the bases so there's no scratching. and the non-porous glaze won't react with foods or odors. Dishwasher safe, microwave safe, freezer safe, oven safe. They're really, it's great product.
Yeah, 5 styles. We've got our loaf pan, our 8x8, a larger 9x13 casserole, and then the 2 pies, the little individual, which is what's shown here at the bottom of the slide, and then our deep dish, which has really been our best-selling pie shape for 25 years. Yeah. So. Okay.
And then the butter dishes have all those same qualities as well as a functional handle and of course the lid. So, the mini butter dish we sell more of those than any other single item. So if that's your assortment with a store, you should take a look at that. And the full butter dish as well. The 2 of them work great together.
Yeah, definitely. Okay, so we're going to open it up for a little Q&A. Let me stop sharing the screen and look at the chat. Let's see, Jim, have you been?
I've been asking some of the questions along the way. There was just a question put to me about apparently there was a bird's nest tool in the stainless steel in the past. Is that something we've contemplated bringing back?
I've not heard.
What is a
anything about
bird's nest tool?
bird's nest?
Oh, okay. Well, I'll investigate that with you further.
Okay.
I'm
trying to look at
any other questions, put them in the chat. We're happy to answer things.
Okay, so Carol's asking about the wattage.
Oh, there we go. Carol's.
There's okay. The bird's nest. Gotcha. Okay. We can look at that. How long have you had that, Carol? Oh, I think you're on mute.
Carol, you're muted.
When I first started, we had these. So that was like what, 2009. Okay. So and it looks brand new. And when I see these out in other retailers, like $40 from Rosley, or I mean, it's like only the top people have them. So I'm just, Williams Sonoma comes to mind, Sur La Table, but all the better gourmet stores. So of course, I know there's a minimum, but there's not a lot of competition out there. And anybody who's deep frying or doing, boiling, and you want to get whatever it is out, I find I use it all the time. So just something.
It's good. Yeah. I'm seeing another question here from Susan. If she can get a PDF of the different temperatures for the Vincent. I think that's a great idea. Yeah. So most definitely we'll create that. I think probably a 1-pager for the Vincent with that type of info would be helpful for everybody.
Do you know when we're expecting to have the a PDF or some form for the promo that's coming up? Some people have asked.
He's working on it. My expectation was to see a rough draft by the end of this week, and once it comes to me, it's done pretty shortly after that. So I would say next week is realistic.
Okay.
Okay.
Catalogs, we're expecting those to arrive end of this month?
Yeah, if not earlier. It's really hot off the presses, but yes, the expectation is to have it, I'd say within the next 10 days, and then we'll get those sent out as quick as we can.
And I pointed out on the chat that we'll be sending those direct to store, as well as we'll be sending some copies to the reps.
Yeah, definitely. Just looking through the questions. Okay, we've addressed Susan's and Carol's. Marjorie, we talked about how quickly the Vincent boils. The answer was fast, but we'll get a better answer.
Well, you did point out it's dependent on some other factors, so.
True. That looks to be the bulk of the questions. If anybody has anything else, please go ahead and just type it in. We'll wait just a couple seconds here to see, but I just also wanted to say again, it's just amazing how quick time is going. I mean, it feels like just yesterday that I was traveling with most of you, and I'm shocked that we're looking down the barrel of 2 years of a pandemic.
Yeah.
But I feel like, of course, business goes on and life goes on, and we should be all grateful that we're in an industry where consumer demand has been up for the last couple years.
Yeah, because of the COVID, suddenly all of America started cooking.
Right.
So that'll be
Exactly.
good for us.
Exactly.
If we would have been getting our merchandise, that
Right,
was the
yeah.
problem.
Lots of challenges, but it doesn't look like we have any other questions coming through. So I guess I'll just thank
No.
everybody again for your time. Haida,
Yeah, I do want to thank you all very much. We're so grateful for all of your efforts, and we wouldn't be where we are if it wouldn't be for all of your help. So thank you.
Surely, definitely. And we will share this PowerPoint as well as the recording just as soon as we can. Look for an email that'll go out to all of you before the end of this week. And with that, we are exactly at the hour mark. So we stayed on task. But again, thanks everybody. Reach out and let us know how we can help, and all the very best to you.
Thank you. That was the Thai way. In Thailand, they go, thank you.
Learn something all the time.